Hey everybody, welcome to the morning market briefing. It's Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. Very special edition of the morning market briefing. We alluded to the start of season 1 yesterday.
7.
Yeah, wow. Episode 1 of season 7 yesterday, and we've got new cast of characters rolling in. Thomas Klecker, you know him, you love him, you missed him. He's back. He's going to be here full time. Former intern, frequent. I would argue probably our most commonly recurring guest host in the history of this, wouldn't you say?
It might be Pedro still, but it's got to be close.
It's got to be close. Pedro won't have that mark for long because
No.
TK's here. He's here full time. Going to be helping us out on the investment analysis and portfolio management piece. But he's also going to be on the call a lot. Thomas, welcome, man. How's it going?
It's good. Glad to be here. Hopefully, I can get on a couple more calls and take over Pedro's crown.
Yeah. The bar is set pretty high, but I believe in you. I believe in you. Thomas, how was the drive from... Did you come straight from Utah?
Came straight for Utah, but I stayed just outside Kansas City. Yeah, it was long. Lots of planes.
Is there still that weird theme park that's right outside Kansas City?
I'm not sure because I drove through Kansas City when it was dark.
That's
so I
fair.
didn't see anything.
The one time I've driven by Kansas City, there was like a very 1850s looking theme park.
Man,
right off the highway.
Kansas City, I've only been there once, but Kansas, it's a cool place. Plus, what they're doing now to make the stadium more of a battery type atmosphere, I think will be really
Ben
good.
loves battery.
That's true.
What was the worst part of the drive?
Kansas during the day and just St. Louis in general.
Yeah.
St. Louis is grody.
I haven't been to St. Louis since I was a child. We went there. It's not a bad drive from Memphis. Spent a lot of summer time in Memphis where my grandparents were. And we popped over to St. Louis and watched Mark McGwire play during the home run chase season.
Big.
And
St. Louis is weird because the downtown is very nice. Like if you think of Atlanta as being, you wouldn't want to be in downtown Atlanta, but you'd like to be in Buckhead. It's the opposite in St. Louis. It's like the downtown is unbelievable, and then you take like 10 steps out of downtown, and then there's like a ring of sin and gun violence around Missouri.
it was a trip of like really high expectations. I mean, like the McGwire Sosa home run chase was the biggest story of the first like 15 years of my life. I mean, it was right in the crosshairs, and my family had just gotten cable, so we're like tracking it on SportsCenter like a hawk. And we got there very, very early, went out to the bleachers in the outfield for BP, and McGwire did not take batting practice, and then he got walked 4 times.
Nice.
So,
that's big.
but we were there.
What year was the big one? 98, 99?
Yeah, it was 98.
Yeah. Man, I mean, you could always watch Sammy Sosa, though, because you could watch WGN.
Yep.
You could always watch the Braves and the Cubs in the 90s.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't have cable.
Good old days.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll jump in. You got any thoughts on the war? You want to just give us, like, catch us up? What have you been thinking for the last 3 weeks about this war?
Man, I mean, well, I was in Japan for 2 of the weeks, so I
Whoa.
kind of just shut off the...
That's a really long drive.
That's I kind of tried to shut off the pay attention to the war a little bit, but I don't know. A lot going on. Hopefully, going to wrap it up quickly.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Ben, the latest is it does seem like we're having ongoing talks. In the morning yesterday, we talked about the Truth Social post that had just been put out. It seemed promising as it relates to the end of the war, but didn't really necessarily have a lot of meat on the bones. Trump spoke for quite a while with reporters, gave some updates. I feel like we know a little more now in terms of where the positioning is. What's your takeaways?
And he was also in Memphis yesterday.
Yep. Went to Graceland. A lot of people say he looks like Elvis.
Similar profile.
I think that there's a lot more smoke about the discussions that are ongoing. It seems like they've tapped who they want to be the next leader of Iran, certainly who they want to negotiate with, and that's the head of the parliament. It looks like Pakistan's moderating those meetings in Islamabad. J.D. Vance is over there. Steve Witkoff is over there. Guys, they're talking. As much as a lot of people want to say that they're not talking, they are talking. And Saudi Arabia and UAE Meanwhile, but also importantly, Trump did not say that there was a ceasefire ongoing. And I think that's important to note because everyone's saying, well, the bombs are still flying and missiles are still going. And I said, yes, that the war is still happening even while there are discussions happening. It's not like there's a ceasefire while these discussions are happening. So I think that's on. And then the Strait of Hormuz, there's been a few more ships that go through. But the rumor is that Iran is charging $1 per barrel of oil, which in the context of oil going up $40 a barrel,
whatever
isn't terrible. Obviously, this is just this shouldn't be allowed to continue, in my opinion, because no one. I mean, it's international waters. It's not like someone owns the strait. It's not like a toll. They keep saying it's a toll. It's not a toll. A toll happens when you build a road and then you charge people for driving on the road that you built and maintain. They're not building a strait. They're not maintaining a strait. They shouldn't pay a toll just to not.
Yeah, I would say the new Ayatollah has certainly not been accused of maintaining a strait.
That's true. Also, how do you guys feel about there's a petition going around Colombia to actually rename
that's
the city,
extortion fees.
Islamagud.
So anyway, my point is I think that the strait is opening up. For now, it's requiring money, but it's not U.S. money. And they're saying, well, we're not going to allow U.S. or Israeli ships. We know because we're in markets, but all the tankers predominantly are not flagged U.S. or Israel. They're Bermuda, they're
Greece.
Malaysia, there's Taiwan, there's Greece, there's Thailand.
They're not stupid.
China. Yeah.
If you've got a long coastline, you've probably got most of the tankers under your flag.
Yep.
Navios Maritime, shout out Navios Maritime, a company that I've lost a lot of money trading.
There's
early
actually
career.
a TK Tankers. Did you know this?
TEEKAY.
Yeah. So maybe that's
TK Tankers.
Maybe the tank. TK the tank.
Ooh.
It is interesting. I think maybe last week we were talking about just skepticism of the winding down of the war. I would just remind people that you may hate Trump or hate whoever's in charge. The reality is the president of the United States probably knows more about what's going on than they're sharing, and they certainly know more about what's going on than you. So I do think for the sake of calmness and cooler heads prevailing at home, I think it's okay that if Trump is saying we're talking to them, I think it's okay to say, I bet they are.
And
I mean, he's a big, why would I tell you guy?
Yeah. I mean, he's
So,
like, even yesterday, he was very vocal about that.
Yeah.
And to be clear, I'm not saying there will be we might be here next Tuesday or next Monday and say,
Still
going. I think this 5-day situation puts us very conveniently at the evening on Friday or morning on Saturday when 5,000 U.S.
I think it's actually a pretty smart strategic move because I think the military standing of the United States 5 days from now, because the bombing has not ceased and because there are troops coming, is going to be significantly different in terms of a leverage perspective than it was on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are the odds that they're just trying to, the final embarrassment is make them surrender on Passover? I mean, yeah.
Nobody's talking about that.
Saying, yeah.
So yeah, it's hard to say that it's heading in the right direction because, again, just as I said, I do think talks are happening. We don't necessarily know what those talks are, where it's going, but it certainly does not seem like Iran is gaining support from neighbors.
And spot oil prices were down $10 a barrel yesterday, and they're rallying $2 today. So last time I checked, 10 minus 2 is 8. So we're still on $8 from where we were, which is good, and it means the market is saying that things are thawing for now.
Yep.
I mean, we do need to circle back on confirmed tinfoil hat theory that there would be an explosion at a Texas or Louisiana-based refinery. Confirmed true. Allegedly, there was a fire that broke out at a diesel terminal in Port Arthur, Texas, at a Valero plant, and there are certainly rumors that it's going to be shut down completely. I don't know if that's true or not, but early news cycle suggests that there's been some sort of fire at a refinery. So I'm going to check that off as a confirmed win for tinfoil hat Tom.
Yep.
So
it may have just been a heater that got too hot, but
Still counts.
I'll give you the win.
I still said sometime in the next couple weeks there's going to be a fire, an explosion at a refinery. It always happens.
And nobody checked Tom's whereabouts last night. He made it.
It's true.
He made it come true.
Could have been anywhere.
Yeah. Locally, we're moving maybe closer to a DHS funding deal. I did see, Ben, I know you're traveling tomorrow. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I did see very positive reports on wait times at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport after the arrival of ICE.
Yeah, it changed dramatically.
They were getting people moving.
They're pulling a lot of folks out of line.
They were getting people moving.
Yeah, I don't know where it is today, but yeah.
I mean, even the AJC, which is certainly slanted one political leaning, kind of in a footnote of an article yesterday, noted that wait times had gone from 4 hours to about 90 minutes.
CNN.
I mean, 90 minutes is not bad for a weekday.
That's
Hartsfield.
that's.
So, okay, so it's bad in the mornings. It's really bad in the morning. Like even an hour ago, apparently, the lines are always all the back to baggage claim. But
no one can
yesterday-
out morning Ben.
No,
Yes.
You actually are more. Your morning is late night, so you
Yeah.
might be just fine.
But yesterday, they were outside, so improvement.
Making moves. You think we're heading towards a funding deal?
I do. I was surprised. Both Katie Britt and Chuck Schumer, who seem to be leading this effort on the Republican and Democrat sides, respectively, appear positive on it, which I think will be. I think there have definitely been some people who are swayed not to travel over spring break with kids to wait 6, 10, 12 hours in line at TSA. I would cancel my flight.
I have a question. Where do people from Minnesota go to the beach? Like Canada? Do you go to Chicago, Lake Michigan?
We have so many lakes, we don't really need to go to a beach, and kind of all the lakes have smaller beaches if you're going to go to the beach.
Interesting.
It's the land of hundreds of lakes.
Is the water
maybe even
cold
more.
in the summer?
No, it's pretty warm. It's land of lakes,
That
man.
doesn't
Everyone's
check
got a
out. Yeah.
boat.
Butter
But
boys.
if you were to go to like a big lake, probably Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan. Interesting. I don't know. I know nothing about what it is.
What was the
What's it-
last ocean
about
beach
Minnetonka?
trip you went on?
Last ocean trip. Probably when I went to Savannah for DECA in high school, I think.
Wow.
All right.
I mean, is the closest ocean to Minnesota the Arctic Ocean? It's got to be, right? How tall is Canada? Somebody put that.
It's
in the
pretty
garage.
tall.
It's
How
pretty
tall is
tall.
Canada?
It's got to be. It's got to be East Coast.
Yeah.
I was just-
All right. We're learning.
We're learning.
We're learning
yeah,
a
we're learning.
lot.
We're learning
This is
about
gonna
the
be
upper
good.
Midwest.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
here, Minnesota specialist
Yeah.
for all
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen.
lakes.
Political
DHS
drama.
issues.
I mean, Minnesota's actually been pretty quiet lately.
It has been. Yeah, it's quieted down. How are the vibes at home?
Seems
Better.
better.
Yeah.
My friends live in Minneapolis have not texted me anything out of the ordinary. So
That's good.
Nice.
Positive. We're
Too
making-
busy lighting stuff on fire.
Yeah. Private credit, man, just keeps coming. Apollo now is curbing redemptions.
Mark Rowan, the CEO of Apollo, came out a week or two ago saying it's crazy that people are getting redemptions and, they don't know what they're doing and they're investing in bad stuff. And now he's saying, all of your investors want your money back. Well, we'll give 45% of them their money back.
Yeah.
Or we'll give
Them
them
45.
45% of what they want. So we got that going on, which isn't so nice. But the Dell family offices just keeps winning because they're saying, all these big private credit funds and private equity companies now have to offload these assets.
Yeah.
And Dell is saying, you know what, we'll buy those assets
At a
from
discount.
you. Yeah.
I mean, there's
Because
probably
we've
good
said it.
deals in there. Yeah.
And we've said it
I mean,
before.
that's the blood in the streets.
Yep. And there's definitely hidden gems. I mean, we've talked about the underlying investments here, and we actually don't think that there's a big problem there. It's just
The liquidity
function of
challenge.
liquidity, yeah.
And ultimately, these people are buying at the worst price. By the time a normal person buys a private credit fund, they're getting the worst possible
So
price.
many institutional investors have passed by the time there's still availability.
Yeah, or it's like 6 people have made a profit behind you.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I got into this deal at 20%. I'll sell it off now you get 11% yield, then you get 7%, and then you get stuck in an Apollo.
I
fund,
think
get
this-
ripped for 2%.
I think this analogy holds, but I've always heard that the third person to own a golf course is the one that makes money.
I'm sure that
The
like,
first one
building,
raises a ton of capital and is like a real visionary and lays out things and brings like a beautiful facility into place, but ultimately overspends and under cash flows. Gets out, sells below the initial investment. Second person comes in and thinks, I really love this golf course and I have tens of millions of dollars. I'm going to buy this golf club and I'm going to run it just as a hobby and it will be break even and that will be just fine with me. But then they actually lose money and then the third person comes in and buys it at 60 cents on the dollar and crushes it. And it kind of reminds me of that.
I believe that. Yeah. I mean, it's almost like, it's really like baseball cards. It's like the private people who find those deals open the pack and they're like, oh, I got a Mark McGwire rookie, huge. And then they turn around and sell it and the next person buys it. And ultimately there's somebody who's like, I heard that's really good to get in baseball cards. And then the market crashes.
And those two are sitting on this side of the table.
Yes. And then, and then you're like, man, I'd really love to sell this thing.
Yeah.
And the gates are closed.
Seeing some slowdown on the M&A side, which I don't know that that's necessarily surprising, Ben, just given the current climate and the uncertainty. And as we mentioned, I guess maybe a week ago, just the overall apathy.
Yeah, I think it's still bubbling out there, but I think that people are waiting for, on the buy side, they're waiting for better valuations, and on the sell side, they're waiting for better valuations. So, on the buy side, I think they would pay a higher valuation if there was a little bit more confidence in the macro backdrop. And then the sell side said, well, I don't want to sell myself short if I could have sold this company for a lot more 3 months ago. So I think those are the factors going on. It is interesting, though, today we saw some news on M&A. Sumitomo Mitsui Financial Group is looking at buying Jefferies.
That's who Clicker went to visit
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Close personal friend of yours, Sumitomo.
So SMFG is already owns a little bit of Jefferies, but is looking at potentially buying the whole thing. And I think this is just, I don't think there's any way a deal goes through because Jefferies shareholders will not sign off on a deal if SMFG is basically saying we're doing it to be opportunistic and capitalize on a weak stock price.
Let me be clear.
But I think that from SMFG, this is actually a pretty astute move because you already have skin in the game because you own some of this. Jefferies stock has not been doing well, and you can basically put a floor under the stock by saying, "Oh, well, we could buy the entire company." And so I think it's
Yeah, they're
smart,
protecting their own
savvy.
asset a bit.
Yep.
As well.
Were the investment banks in Japan spun off from other companies? Because there's a huge overlap in recognizable Japanese bank names and also tire companies.
Yeah, they all used to be these
Because like
big.
Mizuho,
Like
Sumitomo,
conglomerates.
Yamaha.
What were they called, Thomas? I know in business school they would talk about it. There
Business boys over there.
Yeah.
were the
We just call it B school
Mm-hmm.
where I'm from.
I'll get back to there were these massive things like Honda did all these sort of things, and Yamaha did motors and pianos.
Yeah, because the Yamaha logo is 3 intertwined tuning forks from tuning pianos.
So
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like there's like all these different split offs of the same original companies. Like they were all just
I
conglomerates.
wish I could remember what it is.
I don't know.
I just
for
keep,
tomorrow we'll find out.
all I keep thinking about is Kaizen, which is their like version of Six Sigma, and it's not Kaizen.
No, that's a Kaizen Permanente. It's an insurance company.
Yeah. They've got an office.
Evil. Yeah.
All right, Tom, what are we seeing in fixed income world? Anything noteworthy?
And bonds are getting popped again. I mean, things are cheap, and we're buying. We just have, like I said yesterday, we got to hold out for another 8 days.
Yeah, let's do it.
We got big maturities coming on the 24th and the 31st. I need to have those yields there when
Yeah,
those
maybe we
bonds
get
turn
this
cash.
war wrapped up on.
Easter.
Yeah, I was gonna say on Good Friday, but is the bond market open Good Friday?
Probably half day if I had to guess.
So there we go. All right, we're gonna wrap it up there. We will be back tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great day. As a reminder, on April 1st, 12:30, if you are local, please come join us for the Jacob's Ladder Lunch and Learn. If you've not listened to the podcast, go check it out. I've heard from a number of people that have listened to it and really enjoyed it and enjoyed the approach that Ben and Tom took in thinking through things, and really enjoyed the candid story of not only entrepreneurship but also service from Amy Odell. So check it out. It's on the YouTube channel. It's also wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you're subscribed, you're liking everything, and check out the jacobsladdergroup.org. Ben, do you have something? You raised
I
your
have the
finger.
word.
You raised your finger a minute ago.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
Ben did this number. If you can't hear me, he held up number 1 like he just won a race.
I certainly didn't want to interrupt that, which is far more important than what I'm about to say. But Zaibatsu was the name.
Bless you.
Of the family conglomerates in Japan.
Oh,
Right.
interesting.
Zaibatsu.
I was going to say something too, but I forgot because I got thrown off so much by the Zaibatsu.
Yeah, it'll happen. We'll be back tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.